180. Hey, 133. Let's go. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. 61. Matchbox lights.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Here we go.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check nickel.
They run. Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Right there in the middle. 55. Hey, come on now.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Mark 55. All right.
Mayfield looks to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
King.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Mayfield with it once more. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, Terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers. And then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Don't be scared of it.
On first down, Eason. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw from his end zone. Eason in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got it.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
I got it. Mike 55. Mike 55. Check tight end. Check tight. Up.
Mayfield to throw it. Man open. That's Damian Ratley. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, 133. 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Watch the run. Watch the run.
From the gun, Mayfield. Looking for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Adrian Phillips there to knock that one away.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guy.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jannard Avery able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decided.
And the pressure gets to him again. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
6-man. Check girls, check girls.
Following the interception, Mayfield. That's going to be caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The first carry now. This is Johnson. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down now. It's Johnson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Eason. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They run. It's Johnson. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
24-yard gain.
180. Hey, alert, alert. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Good track. Mike.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Regular.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Ready? 8, read. Defense, let's go. Hey, Foxtrot. Hit it.
Off play action. Eason on the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Mike, 5-5. Pistol. Here we go, D. Mike, 55.
Throwing, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
7 yards there and a first down. On 1st and 10, Eason. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's complete to Brown, right side. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 2nd and 14. And he's going to go down again. Jannard Avery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Keeps himself upright. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Off the play fake. Eason. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jannard Avery. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They're going to try and throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
47-yard line.
Run.
Mayfield down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Rolling to his right. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need it. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's... just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he cuts it right sideline. And he gets this one down to the 24. 39 yards there, a big one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mike 55. Watch the run. Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike 55. That's Kings. Defense. My God.
From the 22, Mayfield under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, Alpha. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Check, 50. Check, 50.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
65.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down.
Here we go.
Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. Garoppolo now. After the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
At the 49-yard line.
180.
Watch the run. Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
21.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? And he is going to lose yardage here. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
It's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Go ahead, go, man.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
55
From the 22, Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Right there in the middle, 55. I got you. Hey. Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And it's caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive? It got his man complete. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Under pressure, and down he goes. Sione Takitaki in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line. Garoppolo, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Read it well, and it's picked. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Browns, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout.